You all may be seated. Well, first, I want to thank you all for inviting me out. I've been looking forward to coming back to Buffalo before it gets too cold. Due to the recent events, circumstances that we are witnessing, I thought maybe I'd say a few words on preparation, survival, and readiness. And after that, I'll open up the floor for those that have questions for me, and we'll get into some knowledge. I've been going around the country presenting myself so those that are inquiring, that want to know certain things, that I make sure that they understand what they're looking for. And this way it causes you to be able to make right decisions, right moves. So Buffalo is a very significant place. We have one of our secretaries from here out in heaven, and she's doing a tremendous job. So if she's what Buffalo holds, we got some good people here, and she represents that. How many of you all have read the Bible, studied it, the Quran, and sought for understanding, and you still got some questions? Do you? Well, today, most of us have been fossilized, made somewhat numb to what's really written in Scripture, because if you go to church, the preacher talks about it as though it was in the past. So it's almost like it don't have no relevance today, because they put all the emphasis on the past. You read in the Quran, and it's always telling you how to be righteous or else, and to look for the hereafter. So most people that's coming up today without morals, their parents gave up hope for what they've seen taking place. Even the ones that followed the messenger, they didn't teach their children after the messenger passed. So it's got to be like a void. Spirituality got to be somewhat of a desert. And if you spoke about it to anyone that's supposed to know, they spoke so vaguely that no understanding could come to you. However, that still does not change the fact as to what the prophets predicted. They were inspired by the Supreme Being, or those ones that wrote history 25,000 years in advance, to let the public or the government or the ruling people of said time what is supposed to take place. So everything that is happening has already been told it was going to happen. And the worst is still yet to come. However, the ones that will make it through this dark hour are the ones that have studied and is in accord with the time. They've made preparation. You know, like many Christians, they get ready for Santa Claus or Christmas. They start buying the things right after Thanksgiving. If they want to play Santa Claus with the children, they buy the toys and get it and hide it and so forth. They get ready for it. So in that great day in their mind, when it actually rolls around, they're ready. The same principle should have been taking place concerning our salvation. We today are witnessing what has been promised, that the wicked will be removed from the face of the earth. So it's no secret. And many places it told us how. And the finality of it would be fire. However, working up to that point, you would have many phantoms of food, knowledge, bad weather, confusion. Everything would present itself in such a way, if you wasn't really from your heart, from your will, looking for what's right, you wouldn't recognize it. So it's almost like a filter that makes sure only the righteous make it. To go at this in a way where it's part-time, or it could be, or I got plenty of time, or this is not going to last long, we'll soon get over it. All those people that conform to those ideas are losers. For something so great as to what's taking place, and for the God to make it known that this is what's going to happen, just for the fact He let it be known, and signifies that this is a tremendous time. Tremendous. And He only wants the best, because He is the best. And since there's been so much mixing up of the different people, there has to be a situation brought about that will determine who is the best. Not where He Himself will go out and point to or delegate. The circumstances and situation will have to determine who is real and who is not. Now, we're in it. We raised up a messenger. We called him by name before he was born. Elijah. Elijah was raised up and he taught us the message for at least 40 years. At least. So we can't charge the Supreme Being for not letting us know. And it was so important to the Supreme Being that he get the best, that he had someone to test the ones that came under the message, to see if you were just lip serving or was it for real. And after the test was over, to bring comfort to the ones that it is real to, we brought a reminder by the name of Farrakhan. And he reminded the world of the message for 10 years. Then to make sure that everything is what it's supposed to be, we had another 10 years of preparation for the righteous. From 1980 until 1989, after Warwick Dean had separated the ones that's supposed to be the wheat from the tares, to bring comfort to the ones that is actually the wheat or the pure or the righteous, the minister was to speak and remind us of the message. That's all. Then after that, or put it this way, from the time that Warwick Dean or the messenger's son had completed his duty, or the time for him to complete it, then it was time for the one that is God to start to build his own house. Now, during that time, the reminder started reminding. And it only went for 10 years of the reminding, from 1980 to 89. During that time, the one that is supposed to make everything real was building his own home, his own house, his own foundation. And I hope you all listen. According to what is written in Scripture, for him to complete building his own foundation or his own home. Took him 13 years. 13 years. So that would have been up approximately 1993 if we start from 1980. 93 is a good number. Then he could start to let the public, or the ones that came with the messenger and proved to be righteous, let them know their wait is over. It is time for the fulfillment of the promise of the message. What would have liked to have happened or took place is that the minister would have seen the purity and the necessity of this one and the time, so that he could have been in accord with the time and made the saving of the righteous simple or much easier than what it is. Because most of us, and I must bear witness, the messenger taught in the message that we are the best followers of any people on the planet, the black man in North America. The best followers. And that's what the minister had, followers. So if he had followed the instructions and accepted the man for the time, all that was following him would have came to the time to the right man. However, we didn't see that in the line of activity from him, so we wrote it. We put it in the book that Aaron led the people astray. And this is exactly what has happened. From 1990 until now, confusion has mounted. It has increased. It has magnified. And wherever you find confusion, you don't find God. He's not there. If he was there, just his mere presence would end confusion. However, look at the time when we were confused. The main thing of it is, just as important for us to save the righteous, it's just that important for us to do away with the unrighteous. And there has to be a situation brought about that will make the unrighteous show himself. The bad part for us that are righteous, if you're not with me, the unrighteous know you. The unrighteous knows the righteous. The righteous don't know, or they don't want to accept that the unrighteous are unrighteous. You want to make all kinds of excuses for them. Well, he don't know. He's got a good heart. He means well. The book says that, that's not going to make it. He means well, but he don't do well. He lies, but he really didn't mean to. Or he has a habit that he can't hardly break. We got to help him. We see all kinds of things to rationalize or to accept the unrighteous, because we're always thinking that one day they're going to change and they're going to see the light. What we fail to see, they already see the light. They don't want the light because they're going to have to change. And they don't want to change. However, the God is saying that they got to go. Well, how are you going to make them leave, God? Well, the first things we're going to do is take away their balance in their thinking. There will be no unity in their thinking. None. So when there's no unity in the thinking, there's always war amongst themselves. Especially if there's no one to war outside of themselves. They can't go to war with someone else, but they're not warring against them. So they start to go to war against themselves. One man will come up and say, well, look, the black people can contribute quite a bit to our economy. Let's make sure that we consider their rights, affirmative action. And then another man will stand up and fight him for months. Then another man will come up and try to take back what the government has already issued. They'll fight about that. It goes from one thing to another until nobody is unified. None of them. None of them. In the meantime, you and I are supposed to be keeping your eye out for the one that is for you. We don't have to guess or wonder about this organization because we've been that way ever since the slave master brought us here. They're the ones that are now witnessing that. You all, if you have any sense in your brain or your head at all, should be looking for that thing, that system, that person that will unify you. We've been with the slave master so long, you don't think that can be done, especially if they're not the ones that's doing it. So it kind of makes the supreme being's duty somewhat difficult. Because he shows up to get the righteous. Not so much to get rid of the unrighteous, but to get the righteous. Getting rid of the unrighteous is real easy. It's just as easy as it was to take the towers down. It took them 10, 12, 13 years to build it. Came down in a couple hours. So to get rid of them wasn't no big thing. That was already and is already set. But you, I'm sure this has been advertised that I would be here, as usual. And whatever state, whatever city I go into, it's always advertised. We make sure we send the flyers out to those ones that are there. Sometimes we send the FOI to the city to help the ones pass out the literature and flyers, be on the television, advertisement on the radios. Very few people ever come out. Why? If you turn on your website, and I know you're doing it because we know from the orders of the tape that people order. You order my tapes. We got some brothers starting to call in now, especially after the tragedy took place. Wanted to know what was I thinking about it. They've been listening to my tapes for 9, 10 years. But we never saw them. They never been to no meeting. Never talked to any of us. But they got the tapes, libraries of them. So I really hope maybe that they get this one also. You are not going to sneak into heaven. That's just not going to happen. You're not going to wait until the last second and show up. And since you think the black man is so merciful, we're going to extend mercy and say, come on in. That ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. And that was also prophesied that they came, knocked on the door. Who is it? Let me in. Well, why weren't you here at the designated time? Let me in. I don't know you. The door was never open. You might say, well, I don't see how that can be done. Very easily. When you have a system, it's the same thing as you're going to go to college. If you have been very studious in their system, the word gets around. The college people will go after you to invite you to come to their college. If you're very studious or had been very studious in their system. Same as with us. When you come, since I teach freedom in the courses of mathematical thinking, we have to ask you but a couple questions. If it don't come up right at that particular time, you're not getting in. You can't say, well, my mother, I stayed home and kept her. She was sick, she's an invalid, and I couldn't leave. Well, if you couldn't leave then, why did you leave now? Is she still living? Well, yes, sir. Well, who's keeping her now while you're over here? It's not going to be as easy as you think it is. Just as hard as you are making it for me, it's going to be that hard for you when you think it's time for you to come. Not vindictive, just fair. They say, what's fair for the goose is fair for the gander. In order for you to know how serious this is, you have to receive what you have put out. If you rejected me, I shall reject you. Because I don't need you. I'm the one that's got the system set up to feed you, to clothe you, to house you, and to make you God. I'm the one that's got that set up. So I need the black man as black man, but I don't need you, the individual, as the black man. I don't need that. And if the thinking is that I need you all, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. For the mere fact that it is written, it's prophesied, and the math adds up, that one is independent. One. He begets not, nor is he begotten. He is he whom all things depend upon. All things depend upon the one. And to clarify that statement, he begets not, nor is he begotten. You all have heard that before, haven't you? Did you ever know what it meant? Most people think, well, he's not supposed to have no wife. He's not supposed to have no children. He wasn't supposed to be born from no woman. He wasn't supposed to have no father. That's what most of you think. But that's not what it means. He begets not, nor is he begotten. This is not dealing on the low level of the material, the matter. He begets not, nor is he begotten. This is dealing at the essence of his very being. This means that he don't have no negative. There's no negative in it. So Satan can't get it. He can get Satan anytime he wants, but Satan can't get him. Because there's none in him. So he begets not, nor is he begotten. Satan can't get it. And he don't have Satan in him. That's what that means. He is one nature, all positive, just one. Not two, one. And that's the only number that's independent. And if I say I, the ninth letter of the alphabet, that's independent. That's all. One. And I. So they cannot be begotten. Because there was nothing there before them. And there's nothing that came after them that can get them because they're the root of it. You understand? Two can't beget one. Because it could never be two if it's never one. And there's nothing in the zero that has the power to get one, or to even claim that it produced one. So he, the one, this man you looking at, is the only one that gets not, nor is he begotten. So this allows me to be able to clear up this confusion for you, get rid of the thing that brings about death, and cause you to live forever if you will to. If you want to pass, well then go. That'll be your decision. I don't know why you want to do it, but however, that would be your decision. As it stands today, it's not a choice. The only choice you have is to live as long as you can. but death will eventually overtake you. Unless you're with me. This may sound strange, and if it does, I'm in keeping with what's written. My thoughts are strange to you. Yours are to me too. So, in order for us to make the proper showing to both people, the righteous and the unrighteous, because neither one of the people know me. The unrighteous don't know me and don't want to know. They do know it's a God that's greater than them. And until they experience him or see him, they will be God. That's what they do. The preachers put him up on the wall. The white Jesus. The white man is the God of this. He don't make no bones about it. He lets you think it's somebody spooky. Or he's got everything set up in a way where you are serving him. And if you don't, he lock you up. You're going to serve him anyhow. You figure, well, I'm in jail. He's not making up me on jail. Oh, yes, he is. For every prisoner, they get so much money. And for every prison, the town around it, is pretty wealthy. They were squabbling and fighting on who's going to deliver the toilet paper to the prison. Because it's a constant, ongoing process. Quite a few roles. But we don't think like that. So the man has been God, the wrong God for the righteous. And the righteous haven't seen God like the wicked haven't seen him. You know he exists. However, you can't picture him in your mind. How could he? I know he does, but how could he? He don't never show up. Very rare does he answer my prayers. If he does this in such a way, I can't really, if I see it, I'm not the master of what I'm seeing. Although it's for me, I'm benefiting from it. I don't know how he did it. So I can't master it. So I'm still left the same way he found me. Begging to see him. You get in an accident, everybody in the car get killed but you. And you turn around and look back at the accident and say, God, he must have been with me. I must be for something. I'm supposed to be dead looking at this wreck. But look at the language. You still don't know. Still a mystery. I don't care if you live to be 900 years old, you still are not going to know. So it's like he's almost taking advantage of you, using you at will for his own purpose, and you don't understand why you're being used. Then 10 years later, you have the same accident, and then you get killed. Then they look back from the first time you had the accident until you got killed, and they ain't seen nothing you did. So what did he save you for? I hope you understand. Well, since this is about to really take off for the righteous, in order for the unrighteous to stop him from coming and killing us, we got to put him doing something. The same way he put you always busy trying to figure out how you're going to pay your rent. That you don't have time to see God. Because you're always trying to figure out how to get the money. To get a few things, at least a few things, to show your woman that you're a man. Make sure your child got a little Tonka toy. And buy you a car. So it keeps you busy all the time. And when you do go home, to make sure to take the place of me, you open up the refrigerator and you got 3 or 4 beers in there, maybe a little wine. Your spirits. So you never get to see me. It's planned that way. But we're the best of planners. We always give a man what he loves. Yeah, we do. This man, we made him a warrior, a destroyer. Made him that way. We say, Blitz, will you submit to this man made out of dark mud, black mud? Will you submit to him, Blitz? Mr. Caucasian? We ain't making him now. Will you submit? I can't do that. I mean, you didn't make me to do that. I just can't do that. I am the ruler. You gave me the right to change the name. You gave me the power over all things on the planet, whether it be flying, creeping, crawling, or walking. Even your own people, even your angels, you told me I could rename them. So why you asking me, am I going to submit to him? Hell no, I ain't submitting to him. But that's my man. He's God. Well, I can't do that. Now, we can look back 6,000 years. Has he done it? He submitted to us? He ain't submitted. He has not submitted to the black man. Not too long ago, even with black people would be a policeman. No white person had to submit to a black policeman. He wrote it down. He got it in his system. It ain't been there very long. Since the young people of them start growing up and seeing it was more beneficial for them to allow us to do certain things, then the money flow would come in more for them. So they said, well, look, we got 50 niggas living over here in those 2 houses. Why don't we let them have other houses and teach them in such a way where if they got 4 rooms in the house, let them get a TV for each room. That's 4 TVs for 1 house. And he just do that all the way. He's making quite a bit of money. Let's take him off the plantation, since he made the tractors and all these other things where we don't need him like that, and put him around on the outskirts of the city, or right in the heart of the city. Let him come to the job, and we were working, we'll pay him X amount of dollars. But we're going to charge him X amount of dollars for the house that he's staying in. And then we're going to loan him money to buy the washing machine, the dryer, the TV, the microwave, all those little frills, the 2 cars. Keep him tied up forever. Then when his God comes, he wants to stand up to come against us, he can't. Because if we fire him now, he can't pay this, he can't pay that, he get put out. So us being God and me being God, I already knew what was going to happen. Are you all listening? Because it has gotten to the time now for someone to just come before you and stand up and talk about what happened, what's happening, and what's going to happen. However, the person that's doing the talking is not doing nothing, you should stone him. You're at a time now. This man has been shown from a real small clique of people that you're a big windbag. So they came with 2 or 3 pins, stuck it in the balloon. Can you imagine what's going to happen behind the fallout of the falling of the buildings? Have you considered, have you gave any thought to it? Do you think things are going to remain the same? If you do, go to the airport. Try to get on the plane. If you do, go to Manhattan and try to get in. Just drive in. If you don't think nothing's changed. And with all of these precautions that's coming up, who's going to pay these people that lost all these jobs? Why now, God? This is 2001. The 70 years that was promised and allotted to the open enemy has expired. It's expired. We gave him 70 years from 1930 when I first showed up in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. I hope you are listening. In the course of building my house, I built a system and I tested it to see if it worked. It works. So to make sure that the ones that really want to be right and they want to be with me, not follow, with me, you're going to eat. We have the ground or the earth to produce food for us because we went and set up a system for that. If you're ignorant, you're going to be taught. But we set up classes for you to be taught. So you can see the same thing I see. So you won't be following me because you don't see it. You think I see, so you just follow me. No. If I see it, I got to show you so you can see it. And then you seeing it, you can say, oh, this is the right thing to do. You need clothing, I have to have a system to make sure you're clothed. Civilized. You need housing, I got to have housing for you. So when the man says, look, I can't put you in no houses. Matter of fact, my people is suffering. You got to get out. And the messenger told us this in the message. That the white folks going to say, when you start complaining back to them, they're going to say, well, why didn't you follow Elijah? Maybe y'all don't believe it. Just keep breathing. Why didn't you follow Elijah? And the first person he's going to have to say it to is Lewis. You know, it's a damnable, hellish thing to have many things, and when the support leaves for you to support the many things, then all the things fall on you. Everything that it is needed for the thing to exist or survive now comes back to you. Now, if you have more than what you're supposed to have, if you have my portion, your brother's portion, you just hoarded it all. Then when all of the people leave you, their foundation is taken out from under you, then all the things fall on you. Then when you lived that way and thought that you were so happy, so prosperous, so well known, then when the things come back on you, the house needs to be repaired. You can't repair it. The cars need to be repaired. You can't repair it. You need to eat, but you didn't buy no supermarket, nor did you buy any land. You bought stock, and Wall Street fell. You see them jumping out the window. You go to get some money at the bank. They change the system. Starting all over again. You can't get the money. It's no more good. And all of them things coming back on you. When you as a man, and you've got to say you're a different man from the Caucasian. You can see that just looking at you. You can't be the same. If you were the same, you would look the same. You're not. Just automatically, you're not. And who does God bless? Those that has his own. Not somebody that got somebody else's. If you got your own, then he blesses you. To make sure you have enough or more than enough for yourself. Not as an individual. As a people. If you're doing it right as a people, all the individuals will be treated right. If you're doing it right as a people. Like the enemy does. If you all want to go out and start a food system set up, and you're going to incorporate them, you're not going to make it. They're not going to let you. Number one, you don't have nobody you can call that's like you that can answer what you want to answer. Meaning, look, I need so many truckloads of food brought to my supermarket per week. What black man you can call and get that done? None. You're going to have to call a white man. Then he can say, well, I'll do that if you do this. We know about it because we tried it. They said, in order for you to even order any food from us, you got to put down $125,000, $135,000. Just to put that in escrow with it, just put that down. Then you got to pay so much a year to be in the association. Haven't got one stick of butter yet. You see? So we said, we understand. We're going to do it ourselves. They say, well, we're not saying you can't, but we want to see how you're going to do it. Well, just keep watching. And we're doing it. We went and got some land, start growing it ourselves. What we can't grow, we went to the brother that's not in an association and got from them for you. And we don't have no credit. We pay for it then. They just love us. They don't have to, lessen their paperwork. When they bring it, they got the check. And they just smile and go on back to business. We don't have to call up and fight about our last bill. When you're going to pay it or how much you're going to pay on it. We don't have to do that. So all during this time, we setting up to make sure that the man of unrighteousness leaves. I've been setting up to make sure that the righteous start to receive some freedom. Start to witness what it is like being a man. So if you talk to the other man, you talking to him. Not he's talking to you and you doing all the listening. And yes, sir. And yes, sir. No, if you don't like what he's saying, say, oh, no, sir. That's not going to happen. This is what's going to happen. So and so and so and so and so and so. And every contract that we write with them, we write it. We write the contract and give it to them about what we're getting from them. Not what they're getting from us. If we buy some property, if we rent a building, we don't take their lease. We write up a lease ourselves and give it to them. Say that's what we'll do. We ain't had one yet. Turn it down. Not one. We bought a compound there in Temple Hills, Maryland. They brought up they had their lawyers draw up all this long. We went over it, crossed like this, crossed like that, crossed like that, crossed like that. Carried it back to them. They said, well, you can't just say, well, if you want to sell it, that's what you're going to have to take. Because we're not doing that, what you're talking about. Everything that you got here, that's the trick. We're not falling for it. So all the tricks has been marked out. We straight up and down, you going to be straight up and down. So the lawyer was sitting at the table, but I said, hey, this is where it's going to be. And we had the money check laying on the table so they could see it. But we hadn't signed nothing yet. They talk a while and look at the check and talk. They gave in. Matter of fact, one of the lawyers, they had 3 lawyers. We didn't have no lawyer. We just had the national secretary. One of them said, I've learned a lesson today. We taught their lawyers. So this is a man talking to another man. This is what we're supposed to do. However, you can't do it if they own everything. They own the money that you're going to give them. They own the land that you got. And you don't have nothing. You don't have nothing backing you up. But the nation, we got right and we got a support. Because everyone that's with me, if we don't get it, hey, forget it. I'm God. You ain't going to let me have it, then you ain't going to have it either. Wait a couple months. And that has happened and they come back, are you still interested? Oh, I thought you would come around. Well, to bring it to the point I really want to get across, preparation is a must. You can't do anything correct if you don't prepare for it. Most people that are about any type of morals, when you get up, you prepare yourself to leave for that day. Or even if you're going to stay in the house and go to work for that day. You get up, you wash, brush your teeth, put your clothes on, you make ready. After you completed all that, then you say, well, all right, now, where do I start? Or have I got to go? But you get ready. Nobody has gotten ready for you today except me. You're going to need to eat, man. You're going to need to eat. And they're going to have your brothers that's in the reserve at their supermarket to make sure you don't come in. You're going to think, well, you can't do that. That's my human rights. Yeah, right. For rights. He's destroyed the air. He's destroyed the water. He's destroyed the mind of the black man. So what makes you think he's going to be so nice and kind to you in this hour? The messenger wrote in the book, Fall of America, that they were in the Middle East. waiting for him and his ships and things to come over there. Waiting. And that the other countries were going to swear that they were going to help him until they got time to do it. They reneged. Nostradamus said, in the new millennium, year 1, 9th month, 11th day, fire would come from the sky and knock down 2 twins in the city of York. And while the smoke was still rising, the third war would begin. World War would begin. It's still smoking. Minister Lewis been jumping up and down into your pocket deep for the last 10 years, 10, 11 years. He ain't got nothing for you. It was told to me he bought a little island, named it after his mother. Got little shops and things set up over there on the island. So maybe he thinks he's going to go over there and escape. Nobody do my people like that and get away. All that he has, I don't recall no occupation that he involved himself in that would produce the level of living that he's experienced. It came from you. So when it gets time for you to actually use it, you're going to have to give it up. I was speaking with, one of the scientists was speaking with me. They said, I'm going to make him an offer. Me and the messenger going to make him an offer that he can't refuse. Because he took all your money and switched it to another land. So when it got time for you to need it, he claims he don't have it. He can tell you that, can't tell me that. You see? So I said, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to make him give me all the money? They said, no. He don't have to take it out and give it to you. You just tell him what you need it for. He's going to have to purchase it. And what I need it for is you. Are you getting my drift? So it may have looked like he squandered it all, but nobody squanders money like that. That's with me or under this divine plan. We don't allow that. We don't allow that. That was one brother that was with the messenger. He made so much money. And I was standing in his presence. And another brother came up with a plan to make some money. He said, look, I don't want to hear no more plans of making money. I'm sick of it. I got so much money, it's just a burden on me. I don't want to hear it. And I was just reading in the, I think it was the Bible, because I was reading the Bible and the Quran both at the same time, where it reads about this particular man that he had so much money that an army of 10,000 men couldn't lift his wealth. So much that he was sick of it. So he reminded me of that man. This is a black man now, one of the sons of the messenger. I'm standing close to him, I'm that light when he said it. Now here comes the minister. Took your money and got everything for him. We let him taste this world. This world is not the world that you're looking for. Even the white man is going to want to get out of this world. Believe me. And if they do, they're going to have to make that possible through me or those that are with me. Other than that, no escape. I hope you all understand what's being said. Here's when you need a God. This is the time when you need a God. It better be the right one. I don't have to know you as an individual. I have to know us as a people. It's much like a parent or parents. They don't have to know exactly what the child is, but they do must know what the child needs. If the child is going to nurse, well, the husband and the mother has got to make sure that she's healthy because the baby needs to be fed. It needs shelter, it needs warmth, it needs love, it needs attention. Whether they may not even have named the child yet, but that much they know. Same it is with me and you. I know what you need as a people. And you'll never be a people if it's left up to this man. And there never will be no new if it doesn't come from you. I hope you all understand. I'll say this to make sure that no one leaves or anyone that's listening to this particular tape think that I'm glorifying over anything that has happened or that shall happen to our enemy and to the black man in general. I, being the supreme being, find no joy in misery. However, I can find justice in it. Because what you sow is what you reap. I'm not going to be the God and change it because I like you. No. You need to change from the liking me. If I change and do it because I like you, I'm going to mess up. And one day soon, or if not later, you're going to curse me for doing that if I was to do it. You know, like some people do. Spank the child and the child gets all upset while they're getting spanked. They get to be 20, 25 years old and come back, thank you for that spanking. Just a few things for you to think about. I don't find joy in it, but I do find justice. If someone does you wrong, personally, you know them, whether it be your child, your wife, or a relative, or just someone you know. And it looks like they're getting away. And they step out of their own house, fall down, break their leg. You say, I knew it. Not that you really want to see them break their leg. You want, if that's what's going to cause them to understand what they have done or plan to do is wrong, then break it. You got it? Now here's a God. This man ain't just do wrong. He's the God of wrong. The God of it. And the two gods can't live in the same place at the same time. Just impossible. It's just impossible. So the stronger of the gods must rule. If the weaker of the God will submit, there may be a place for him. But he said, I'm not going to submit. You're going to have to kill me. No problem. No problem. And after a while, we will have no more meetings like this. No more speaking of right and wrong. We'll be too busy doing right. Well, if you have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to satisfy them. Maybe bring some peace to your mind. So I'll open up the floor. If you do have a question, sisters or brothers, you have a mic there, or will the mic reach the brothers where they're sitting? If you have a question, you may stay in your seat, ask the question over the mic, and I'll answer it for you. Maybe we get into a little knowledge. I have shared what I would like for you to know, that I've got a place for you. What will determine how large the place is is how many it needs to accommodate. And how I will know how many I need to accommodate is from your arrival. If you don't show, no need to have a seat for you. If you understand what I'm saying. Since I'm not wasteful. You see? So if there's only 2 people coming, I got a place for you. If 2,000 comes, then I get a place for you. That's the way it works. So as long as you stay out and looking and figure, well, I'll wait until the last second when I know ain't no place for me to go, then I'll come. Then you will have done what the ignorant man did, what the bumblebee did, what the grasshopper did. While the ant was steady working, and the honeybee steady working. The bumblebee, I ain't making no honey. Plenty out here now. The seasons changed. He froze to death. Grasshopper did the same thing. Ant steady working. Grasshopper laughing at it. Seasons change. Like it has now. It's your day, black man. The season has changed from darkness on you to light. So if you don't take advantage of it, then you will perish with the dark. Because the light is making the dark vanish. So if you stay with the dark, that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to vanish. Isn't that simple? If there's something complicated of what I've said, be sure to remind me or let me know. Yes, sir. Do we have anyone? Be quick about it.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Dear brother, I have a question to ponder quite a bit about. Was there ever a King Solomon's temple? And if there was, what is the significance of it?
You said, was there ever a King Solomon's throne? Temple? Yes, sir. Everything that has been happening up until now has been a fraction of the whole. There was a King Solomon. David did have a son named King Solomon. David had a son, biological son, named Solomon. However, the real Solomon, to do what was written of what Solomon did, it was written or told to David that he would have a son by the name of Solomon bestowed onto him. It wouldn't come from his loins. Yes, sir. So this one that is bestowed is me. The real David, or the fullness of David, was the messenger, Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I'm not of his loins, but I'm the one that is bestowed on him. So I'm the Solomon that is to make everything that is written about Solomon come to its fullness. So that's what's happening. That's why I'm not, my name is not Solomon. I'm styled as him, so you will know what to expect of me. I have my own name, which is Royall. Powerful name. If I live up to that, everything's all over with. Powerful name. Matter of fact, it's not a name for a person per se. It's indicating a level of participation or a level of existence. Like I said before, even if you get a royal ass with it, they know you got one. That's clear.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I would like to know, do we still have time to get our own gas stations and stores and restaurants throughout this country here?
Only if it's done this way. If it's done for the purpose of serving our people, not the people. If you're doing it to set up a store or a restaurant just to have a business to make money, it's not the time for that. If you're doing it to make sure our people have a place to come that's civilized and they can feel free at, you'll be successful. In other words, let me say it this way. If you don't do it for the money and you do it because it's right, you're going to get the money. If you do it for the money and don't give a damn about it right, you ain't got enough time for that.
Yes, sir. I understand. I'd like to get together with the representative here in Buffalo and put something in writing so you can look at it and see if that's the way I should go.
Yes, sir. Didn't you give me something once before? Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir. Well, give it to the secretary back there. And I do appreciate it. I'll let you know that now. Yes, sir.
So the systems that you were bringing in that were new, how would that affect the relativity as far as that is and that is not? Could you give me some clarity on that? What is and that is not? What they mean by that?
Are you saying the system that I'm bringing in, how will it affect what is and what's not?
No, actually,
Hold the mic up.
what I was trying to say was the system that you said, the one that you're bringing in that is new. What would you have to magnify that in like the relativity, the one that usually distinguish when you have right, and then in comparison, like the opposites of?
Right thinking. Right thinking. You all are the most powerful individuals in the universe. But you don't know it. Even if you know it, you don't know how to be it. A man is how he thinks. And what a lot determines on how he thinks is what he eats. So if you're eating right and thinking right, that is what will show you the difference between what is and what shall be. And if you're thinking right, it shows you what type of will you should have. This, if you look into the future from thinking right, and you see, well, look, if every black man had the things that he needed, not necessarily everything he wanted, but just the things he needed, just the nature of black people, it would be a wonderful experience. Now, what could I do to make sure that happens? I'm putting my will out that I live to see that and partake of it or participate in it. Just from thinking that, now you come up with a will to actually be a part of it. And doing that is like, be careful what you ask for. However, that's not being careful in such a way where anything wrong could come to you from that. So you're asking for it, I show up and make sure you can see it and participate in it and bring it in. And in doing that, you will be able to see the clear difference between what was or what is, what shall be. And that's what stimulates you to make sure that you want to live, because you can see the value of life then. That will be the difference. Right now, the only thing we can see is that it's trouble. A lot of black people see, and I ride up down the road and I see some of the black, you don't see that many black people. The ones that you do see, some of them got the flag on their antenna, it's just waving. One black woman had a great big flag hanging out of her trunk. And because she didn't know, when you're driving along, you create a vacuum in the back of the car. A vacuum is created. So it had sucked the flag back up in the back of the trunk, covering the tag over the lights, but she can't see it because she's sitting in front. She can't see it behind her. Great big flag. You couldn't see no stoplights. You couldn't see nothing. Couldn't see the license plate. That's ignorant. She's just driving though. She's just going. So she don't see nothing. So her will is that this country make it. That's all she knows. And this is, oh, no. So if she don't come up on a strong man, she might perish. But you have a strong man, he look and see, hey, that's their flag. And the only thing I can remember that happened to me under their flag is stretching my neck or taking my brain out. Now, most of you that call yourself living in comfort or whatnot, go to court. Just go to court and just sit in. Don't sit down, just go sit down. There don't have to be no heavy court, just go to traffic court. You will see the dumbest display of people you ever seen in your life, and the judge be looking at it, he like, oh, God. $100, get him out of here. It's like the disgust is so much, and he do it day in and day out. So when he see you, he don't see people. He sees somebody that's like a naughty, ignorant child that will not do right. So he just, he don't give a damn about you. You see one man come up, halfway dressed and talking a little bit, his whole thing changes. If you really want to see it, go to a trial where they're trying you for grand theft. I mean, but you only stole a loaf of bread, worth $1 or $2, but they got you for grand theft. Just go to court and just sit there and just watch it. Watch them and watch our people. However, they the ones that did it to our people with our permission.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have gone over many, many times of things that I'm doing and that I shall do. Right on up to when we actually won't be wearing any clothing. Where we'll be wearing light. This way you don't never have to go in your wardrobe. Got it here. You don't have to go down to Montgomery Ward, J.C. Penney's, Lazarus or whatever his name is, get up, you look at yourself, I don't want this color today. But you would like change it. Hey, I kind of like that. Stroll on off.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
My question is something that I heard back in the month of February of this year. There's a radio show broadcasting out of Canada. The host and the guests apparently were talking about gold, and the gold was supposed to have curative properties in it. The guests had said that if the gold was melted down at some 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, that a white powdery substance would form. And I guess you would separate the powder from the molten gold. And if you ingested this white substance, that it would bred any illness that you had. And I was just wondering if that was true.
Yes, sir. However, since we don't have no smoking or melting pot where we can actually do it, very few of us will ever experience it until I actually do it. However, it's written in the scripture, gold is good for your health. Just touching it, if it's pure, if you touch it, you can feel it tingling all up through. Gold is the best substance that the earth produces. The best substance. You all are the best substance that vegetation produces. Man, the body, the flesh. Between the sun, the water, and the earth produces this. But you're still material. So if the property of gold is distributed to you in the right proportion, the best of what the earth produces goes with the best of what vegetation or what nature produces. It cleanses each other. So yes, sir, that's true.
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
King Joseph, before Elijah's entity entered his body, did his existing entity at that time, did it exit and return to the sun, or did it remain dormant?
No, sir, he never had an entity before Elijah entered into him. Quite a few of us was like that. We're like robots. It's like putting your car on cruise. You'll operate until a certain thing comes up. And when it gets time for it, comes up, and then you have a completely different person, or the fullness of that person. When you have a duty to the magnitude of that kind of existence or influence on the way life should be lived, that entity cannot come into a baby. It would be like you see tight rope walkers. They want to walk from one building to the other, walking across the tightrope. It would be like they'd have a toothpick or something that's inside. It couldn't support their weight. Babies, if they're going to be at that level of importance, they are allowed to grow. and their body is allowed to get strong enough and their thinking capacity is to develop. Then when the entity comes in, it's not coming in to be denied. It's coming in to make sure it is responded to. If it wants the body to do thus and so, the body can't say, well, I can't do it. I ain't big enough. Then the entity would have to say, well, man, I got to sit here and wait 10, 11, 12, 20 years. The body can't respond. For an example, all of us came here through the agent of appropriation, man and a woman. Is that right? All of the females, when they came, they had all of the organs. Couldn't reproduce. The little brothers and the man child, he was born, he got all of his organs. He can't father a child. So the body got to grow. That when he does, he can shoulder that responsibility. So it is with a person that is going to shape and mold the thinking of the planet to influence the universe. The entity don't come in at that time. It's just enough for the person to be on the right track and grow. And then when it gets time for him to have his fullness, then here it comes.
One last question.
Hold the mic up.
My name is Joseph Leon James. I'd just like to know what that name means. If you had the time, sir.
Okay, I'll try to do it real quick so we won't break the rhythm. Joseph, Leon. Well, Leon means to lean on. Joseph means to form, like you form things, make it happen, shape it, or to take instructions. Your last name is what? James? Germs? James, it means you have purpose or aim. To have a purpose or an aim. I aim to do so and so and so. I'm here. My purpose on the planet is to do so and so and so. That's what it means. Yes, sir. Walaikum salam. That's it?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I got a question concerning my wife and children. My woman and my children.
Yes, sir.
Up until the point where though I accepted you as being Allah, she accepted me fully. Now she turned and went Christian, and it's like we had total odds. And I don't want to abandon my children in them. However, I don't know what to do in this situation.
Well, this is a day of separation. A man, if he's going to return, has to return back to his first love. And your first love is truth, not a woman. Because we had truth before we made her. And because she's not a created being, sometimes they have difficulty in understanding why we do certain things. They just have always been experiencing what we have done. Because when we made them and brought them into the world existed. We were here. Water existed. Air existed. Food existed. Everything was already here. So we know the why of it. They have lived on the because of it. So they feel as though they haven't missed anything. So why would you go off and do something that they can't see the reason why you would do it? You're living just like them. You're eating like them. You can go to church like them. They can't understand because they are not God. They are not man. So if you are encountering such a person like that will not, then you must stick with your first love. And that's why as Muslims we are taught to pray for, surely I have turned myself to thee, O Allah, being upright to he who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Surely I have turned myself. As long as you're going with them, you're going the wrong way. And when you come in contact with Allah in the system of Allah, you got to turn. And when you turn, if they don't turn with you, no sweat. I mean, you feel a loss. The umbilical cord is being cut, so you got a sore there for a while. However, the way that you've turned into heat, warmth, and light. So the sore soon heals up. And it folds up to show that it was never a scar, just that something took place. You see? And you move on. One day, like it is written and they sing songs about it, you're going to miss me. And believe me, if you're a man, she's going to miss you. If you're a male, she just go get another. She ain't miss nothing. Just go get another male. But when you're a man, she might go get another male and say, oh, hold it. This ain't a man. I want my man back. And if you're not a man, you will succumb to her. If you are a man, you will weigh heavily what you are being seen, what you're being taught, what's there to be taught concerning you and your relationship with the supreme being, the system that makes him supreme. When you get into that, you don't say, well, yes, I'm with Solomon and I'm following Solomon and I think he's God. Forget that. You can say, look, whether he's God or not, what he's showing us will make me God. I'm not giving it up.
Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir. Do we have anything else? Yes, sir.
Assalamualaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
It was something that interesting to me lately. I want to know if there's something to it or just nothing. I had two questions though. First one is, well, I've experienced a lot of deja vu when I was like a young child, right? Like every other day, and it happened so frequently that it made me afraid sometimes. Now when I'm grown up, I suffer from it less. However, these couple of days, I'm suffering with a lot lately. I want to know, what is that? Is there something or is it nothing?
Well, did you say you suffer from it less?
Well, when I got older, I started suffering from it less.
But I just asked that because the first thing you need to do is change your language.
Yes, sir.
That you experience it less.
Yes, sir.
Deja vus are not something that you suffer from. This is something that is your genetics or your blueprint that's already written. And occasionally, as you're going through life and you're stepping through it,
Yes, sir.
it'll come back like you said, well, no, how did I get here? Let me look at the map. So the black man's mind is very rapid. So it come back. If you were alive, those are things that indicate you're on the right path or you need to do so and so and so. If you're not doing it, you're going to end up doing it. Well, I had that yesterday. I had a deja vu about that last week. I'm doing it. So it's like a guide to show you. Because none of us is here not knowing what tomorrow is. It's just that since we willingly gave up and allowed this other man to rule, we didn't care to know. If we did, we wouldn't let him rule. Although it's still there. It's like we put tomorrow in our brain and locked it. We got it in escrow until a certain day and a certain hour. Then we come and unlock it. Until you unlock it, every once in a while something seeps right through the crack and show you something. That's why it's written that we write history 25,000 years in advance. So if you was alive, you wouldn't have deja vu. All you have to do is remember what you said was going to happen. There it is. And by you all and all of us being entities, the entity is already knows what is to take place. Already knows. It knows why it's here. It's just that until the man that is in opposition of this is taken care of or removed, you only see it in bits and pieces. And to let you know how effective that is, even white folks will tell you they have made an art out of it. They call it subliminal suggestion. You see it, but you don't. What you're really looking at is one thing, but what you're really getting is something else. They have subliminal music. You go in the department store, you say, well, I ain't going to spend so much. You stay in there. In that music is telling you, man, spend. You need that car, spend. But you're listening, but you're not listening. But that's what the music is telling you to do. So, well, I ain't got the money, but I'll lay the card like that. Sometimes they have to tell you, this card is no good. Because you was in here last week and did the same thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, to a certain extent.
In other words, when you were little,
Okay.
you had less distractions as to what was going to take place in the future. You had less distractions. You didn't have to worry about what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep. You know, somebody was taking care of that for you.
Yes, sir.
As you get bigger and take on more responsibilities for yourself and what you have done, now you got to think of a lot of other things that will not allow you to have time to see what's going to take place in the future. So it comes sporadically, every once in a while, because you're always busy.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But what it is showing you is something that's, in other words, this is why it says, book the Bible is called, and the Quran is called scriptures. The people that's acting them out, you're going over your script. You're on stage acting out your script. The stage is the United States here, this planet. It's the stage. You acting out your script. And if you forget the word, instead of you looking on your hand, cheating, wrote it on your finger and everything like that, since it's a divine thing, it comes through your mind. Oh, I've seen that before. I did that before.
Exactly.
See? And that's what happens. It's a good thing.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Also, my second question is, I find myself being very inconsistent in this. When I drop out, I get, restless. So I just can't, leave it alone. That's why I keep on coming back.
When you drop out?
Yes, sir. Like, a sense where I want to come to class or anything like that. And I find myself just thinking that it just keep on drawing me back.
When you know, back to the mathematical thinking classes? Or
yes,
things of that
sir,
nature?
exactly. When I first got into this, it was like nonstop. I just couldn't stop doing it. As time wore on and the circumstances went on, eventually, get me doing what I know I should be doing sporadically. However, now I came back to it. However, what do you see this about me?
Well, this is what takes place with every person. Regardless to how good and inviting the meal is, you do get full if you keep eating. So if you're coming to the classes and you're really learning, and it's like in the beginning, it's addictive. Because you can feel it all through you, whatnot. It's in your mind. You go to bed happy. You wake up happy. You got all this energy. However, you're not in the place where we're building what we call heaven. So if you're going to expend that energy, if you got a job, you do it in what you're working. However, you can't talk to the person next to you because they ain't going to class. So after a while, you say, well, man, I'm real sharp, but I don't have nobody to talk to.
Yes, sir.
So to save myself, I'll skip a week. I ain't going to class this week. I'll go next week. At least you have got it enough to know what you got is right. When you feel yourself slipping back on the dark side, you better come back to class. Because what happens is, this is 24 hours out here in this world.
Yes, sir.
Everything you do, you benefit your enemy. Even when you breathe it. This messed up air, you're going to go to the doctor. He's going to get you. Everything you do, except for this. When your eyes start opening up from the classes and you can see everything that's being done, then you can start weaning yourself or breaking certain habits that you got that's helping this man kill you. Until you get to, yes, sir. If you're smoking, if you're chasing women, if you're taking some kind of narcotics, everything that you do, this is a man of death, and everything he does is death. If you sit in the computer all day, looking at the computer, working on your job, whatnot, you're going blind. That's why you get so you can't see nothing no further than in front of you. Whatever the distance of the computer face is, you get so you can't see no further than anything else, you squinting. Everything he does represents death. And when you come with the light and start living, then you start cutting those things out. I ain't smoking no more. I'm not drinking no more. I'm not cursing no more. I don't say you do it all at once, but something's going to happen almost every week. Something's going to happen, come to your attention if you're growing. It's going to show you, man, I was wearing this. Even if you're wearing clothes that's not fitting to the way that you should be thinking. You open the closet and say, man, how the hell did I ever wear that? Now you don't wear that no more. Then it comes to your mind, I'll give this way. Then you think, I can't give this to nobody. If I ain't going to wear it, what am I going to give? I'll go give it to the Salvation Army. Otherwise, that's the way the process works. So, I would suggest that you still come to class because the classes usually don't last no more than a couple of hours. And if it's twice a week,
you're talking 4 hours. If it's 3 times a week, you're talking 6 hours. However, it's 24 hours in a day. So if you come in 2 hours for that day, 22 hours of the day, the man got you. So to make sure that it's like, you know, you take a shower or bath in the morning or night, once a day, to keep off the unwanted filth or the possibility for germs or whatever. You got to do that to come to class. The truth is so powerful, you don't have to come every day, every day, every day. However, the way this world is set up, you should come at least twice a week. Yes, sir. Even 4 hours out of the week. That ain't too much.
That's exactly
And
right.
while you doing that, I'm building heaven where we are there 24/7, every day, all day, day after day. We're there. So when you do come, whatever you need from your own will to be right, whatever portion you need, we got it. We got it there for you. However, you'll never come. You'll never come to the classes. And if you come to heaven and never come to a class, man, you have come to a shock. Because the one that's been there, they're not going to just let somebody just come in and just do something crazy because you just got here. They say, oh no, brother. Because we have people come out and do that, and the brothers hold them accountable. They can't take that pressure. They say, well, look, this is right, but this ain't for me yet. So they leave. So we always encourage them, look, before you come to heaven, find a class outside and start practicing. Because once you get to heaven, that's supposed to be heaven. We're not inviting Satan to heaven and then feed him and make him strong in heaven to come against us. So what we would encourage you to do, come close to heaven, meaning like a class here, because Satan is coming with you. And we build you up strong enough where you can kick Satan to the curb. Then you say, well, look, I don't want nothing to do with Satan, period. I'm going to heaven. When you come to heaven, no sweat. Maybe a few things that you don't lack because of how the discipline is carried on. But that'll soon dissipate because you'll see the value in it.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Are you all understanding? Nobody's doing this but me. And those that are with me, no one. And we have had leaders, what they call leaders, of people that's speaking for black people with all kinds of money that you gave them. They ain't got nothing. If you open up the book that they give you, if it's going to mean anything, it's got to have the message of literature. Anything else is their philosophy. It ain't going to help them. Matter of fact, you look at them, it ain't help them. If you don't give them money, you see where they'd be at. Yes, sir, we have another question?
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
My husband, he asked me, I was working in a part-time job, and he recently asked me to start working full-time so we could have more income. And I I did it, and I'm working full-time now. I work for Caucasians at a car dealership, and I really don't like working there, and I want to go back to doing what I used to do, which I had a skill and I enjoy doing it. And I want to know, would it be? Um, I'm a little confused if I should go and do the skill that I used to do, which I enjoyed, instead of working at a place where I'm not comfortable because I work with a whole bunch of Caucasians, and I really just don't like it.
Well, you want to know what to do?
Yes, sir.
Well, first, is the extra income needed?
Yes, sir.
It's absolutely needed.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's see if it's really needed. Is there some things that you're doing, you and your family, that's not necessary to be done? Are there places that you go that's not necessary to be gone? What you like to do, you're earning an income from that?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's a thing that's called sacrifice. Do your husband work?
Yes, sir.
There's a thing that's called sacrifice. And I can say it because I know who I am.
I would not allow my wife to go to work for that reason with the enemy. If it was my son, I said, go ahead, because you're a man. You're supposed to be able to deal with the man. However, my wife, this is something that I go into here. There's two places that you all receive life from us. The first one is here, spiritual. Give you spiritual life. And to allow you to go to be with the enemy of life is a dangerous thing. And then the physical life, he goes into your womb and gives you life, which you're supposed to give back to him in 9 months. So this is something that is for him, not for him to go out and lend it out to the enemy. So I don't allow my wife to work. I got too much work for her myself. I'm raising this black man, you help me do that. However, since I am who I am, I won't condemn the brother. It's not a wise practice for him to do. You know, I always do things according to math, not according to the person, not even my own person. I came here today, I got a 88 Mercury. That's in the transportation system that we have. We got an 88 Mercury, one of them. I also got a 2002, I think it's 2002, isn't it? Q45. The way the meeting schedules are arranged and the people that I'll have to carry with me from here, the Q is not going to do it. So I left the Q in one place, took the Mercury and came here. I will go to another place in the Mercury and get a larger vehicle and go to other places I got to go. Then when I come back to a place where I'm only taking 1 or 2 people, I pick the Q back up. So it's not like, well, I got a Q. It's beautiful. It does everything except quit drinking gas. I mean, I should be seen in that. Makes me look very stately. Forget all that. If it don't serve the purpose, leave it home. Take what, and I looked in America and said, man, the seats is all ripped up in here. But they're leather seats. Well, they ain't dirty. Hey, let's ride. That's what I did. In other words, we have to do things mathematically, not what somebody say. And if the bills that, if you need the extra money, you got to know why, how much, and for how long. Now, if you all have discussed that, if you want you to get another job to bring in more money, and never give you a date, say, well, look, we need more money, and at least for the next 6 months. Now, if that's what it's going to be, and you say, yeah, okay, and he watches you, and takes care of you, he got to make sure when 6 months is gone, he has not squandered what you went to work for. 6 months coming, well, you done spent half the money, well, the money's coming in, and you didn't spend it what you're supposed to. So now he's got to tell you, well, look, baby, can you work another couple months? Now you're thinking, well, darn, he ain't keeping his word. He ain't keeping his word. Now, Satan sent another brother in on your job. Handsome brother. Just what you've always wanted. Now he's talking to you in your mind, that rascal I got me down here working, he lied, and now you're telling him you don't want to work, now he's in arguing with you, but you're still going to work. Here this handsome brother got a desk right next to yours. And you know how it goes. And before you know it, you listen to all those promises that he's whispering to you all day. And then one night you don't go home. And your husband look, well, where is she? He don't call your mother's house, your father, because they broke up. Call his house too. Call your sister. Call your job. They got a recording on. Hours 8 to 5. It's 9 o'clock. Now you're thinking, how am I going to leave to let this man know, I just found somebody else. I'm saying this is how Satan works. So if he say 6 months and you agree on it and you all talk, you got to keep the lines of communication open at all times. I don't care what, because Satan's going to send a problem. He's going to send a problem. Even if it's some white man trying to hit on you, you almost have to throw up. You can't stand him even to look at you, let alone touch you. And when you go home and tell your husband, he said, well, baby, you need money. Well, can't you just put up with it? You can't say that. Because she can't put up with it. You're going to have to teach. You're going to have to come out to justify why you still sending her back. And it better add up. If it don't, you in some trouble. So, if you all can agree, and I'm with you. Is your husband here?
No, sir.
Is he with us?
Yes, sir.
Well, maybe he should try me. He should try me. In his own thing, and say, Father, I want my wife to be with me. I want to have a wonderful marriage. That's what I really want. I don't want her out there working. If anything, I want her to do what makes her happy, if it's going to help make me happy. And just ask, Father, would you make this true? Would you make this happen? And go on about his business. Next week, somebody call you up and say, look, you know what you were doing you love to do? Yes. We need you back. Well, I'm not making enough money. That's why I had to leave in the first place. We're doubling your salary. Oh, I'll be right there. The thing of it is, people don't believe, so they don't try. They think I'm just saying this. All you got to do is be, if it's really in your heart and in your mind, for the right reason, I got to answer you. And if it's not for you to do that, in the answering, I will put you someplace else that will answer your cry. And you'll be happy. But if you don't believe it, and you don't try it.
Thank you, Father.
Yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Wa alaikum salam.
On behalf of the Buffalo Study Class, I'd like to thank you for coming to Buffalo again and sharing knowledge and understanding. I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask.
Yes, sir.
First question I'd like to ask is, we know that the entity is a mass of completed ideas and that the brain holds the thoughts. How do those intertwine or come about?
How does the intertwining come about?
No, intertwine the brain and the entity, since the entity is completed thoughts.
The brain is just another word for saying entity. In other words, brain means to be, or being, like God said, be, and it is. He can't just say it. He got to have the brain power, the be power, to make it happen. And the brain, or the being that makes the being do what it does, is in the mind. So, when you will something, it's coming from that be. Instead of saying be, they say brain.
Yes,
it's like right and righteous. You can have a man that's right, and you can have a righteous man. The devil can be right. A lot of times he's right, but he ain't righteous. You see? So you can be, and you can be a being. Being means that you're in motion of what you are to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My second question, in the scriptures it says, suffer unto the little children. Now, which children are they talking about? The children of the messenger or the children that's with the members today? Because the children out there now, they're really lost. Starting from 7, they don't respect anybody. They're talking to grown-ups any kind of way. Dressing wild.
Well, yes, sir. Technically, it's speaking about the children that the ones that were with the messenger produced. Technically. However, it means anyone that comes to this, regardless of how old they are, they got to come like a child or a baby. So they would be the children. If you're 900 years old and you come into this is brand new. Brand new. And that's why the book reads, I don't care how old you are, when you come to this, you got to come like a baby. So that automatically makes you a child. And so, because if he's 900 years old, can you imagine how fossilized he is in the devil's thinking after he's been baptized in it that long? So if he come to me, I got to do some show enough suffering to change that around. I got to suffer all his stupidity, all him telling me, well, I've been doing this for years. What you mean don't eat no pork? My father and grandmother ate pork all their life, smoked 25 cigars a day, drank corn liquor, and they lived to be 110 years old. Suppose they didn't do it. Might have lived to be 210. In other words, I had to suffer all that foolishness long enough for them to change. Like I'm doing now. I'm the supreme being. However, everybody talks about me, but nobody wants me. So I got to suffer if it's called suffering. I'm not really suffering. I don't know what suffering is. I tolerate or I have patience. So while I'm having the patience, I'm looking at this rebellious situation before me. So it makes me to go back or go into the brain to come up with a solution to that. So I'm not suffering. I'm asking myself, now, Buffalo at least got about 100,000 black people or more. How does that only see 30? I'm on the TV here. What happened to all the rest of them? Should I wait? Does math dictate that I should wait? And should I suffer them? No, those that don't come, I don't suffer. Those that come is the ones I have to suffer. Because I got to put up with that until they change. So that's what that means.
Yes, sir. Also, a question about the sisters. When the sisters finish their cleansing period and it's time for the percentage days, why is it a double scale that goes from 25, 50, 75, 100, then back from 100, 75, 50 to 25? What is that process there?
Well, that's like going up a mountain. Once you get up, you're coming down. Everything is done in a gradual way. So when they start to come into the a time where they can take your seed and make good of it, it starts off 25%. They may get pregnant. 50%, twice as possible that they get pregnant. 75, 3/4, 100. So it's more than likely, if something happens during that time, she's going to get pregnant. Then, if you don't, nothing don't happen, it starts going back down. It starts going back. So it declines, 25, 50, 25, 0. You start off with 0, go right back to 0.
Yes, sir.
That's the way it is. So in other words, instead of it being suddenly, it graduates. It gives you time to plan. I want a boy, I want a girl. So since I want this boy, let's make sure we connect in the morning hours. And to make sure, let's try from the 50 right on up to the 50. 50, 75, 100, 75, 50. Something should have happened by then. If it ain't, one of you need to go get checked, or maybe both. If the sperm count is too low, I don't care what percentage she is. She ain't going to get pregnant by you. If her tubes are blocked, she ain't going to get pregnant. So you find out what the problem is, go into motion to solve it. But that's the way we made it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The last statement is, recently I've been shared with that I'm in a cult for believing that you God. However, I told him I'm in the best cult that there ever could be. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Most people that say that don't know what an occult is. You cannot teach a person what makes you successful and it be an occult. The main purpose of an occult is to keep a secret. Math won't allow you to keep secrets. It shows you everything. And if the teacher is teaching you how to use the math where you can think mathematically, ain't no secret. So it's impossible to be an occult. Impossible. Now you want to see an occult, look at the Nation of Islam. They practice keeping secrets. They can look at the minister doing something crazy, and you bring it to their attention, oh, you just don't understand. I mean, the minister's backed up by 2. Well, what I got to do with it? The man did something wrong. They go with all kinds of things to show you how he ain't wrong. There ain't no goodness. Well, if they did it, they'd been hung from the tree. So they practice keeping secrets. That's an occult. If you say anything that's in the way of protest or showing some type of fallacy in what's taking place, you are automatically labeled immediately as a hypocrite, slanderer of the minister, something that is not favorable to you as being a man. That's automatically, they do it automatically. When something like that happens, that's an occult. Is that clear? Even Wallace is not an occult. He took everybody back to the ones that wanted to go, and then went with him, took them back to the Eastern way of religion, or Islam as a religion. That's a religion, that's not an occult. When you start keeping a whole bunch of secrets, and don't want certain people in, don't want them to know this, don't want them to know that, this day and time is the wrong time. Solomon is here now, breaking all secrets, explaining all mysteries. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
In the book, Songs of Solomon, it says, come ye for I'm black. Is it any particular reason why it stated that Solomon was black?
Because he was black.
Yes, sir.
The Solomon that they speak about in the Bible, David's son, was black. That's why he said, I'm black, but cumberly, meaning that he's a gentleman. He's a passionate man. He's a merciful man. But, and a man with that kind of knowledge and power and wisdom, people were not used to somebody with that kind of power or knowledge being cumberly. They're usually arrogant, boastful, rude, don't have no time for you. So I'm the personification of that. I have the knowledge, but you can talk to me. People call me late in the night, early in the morning, in midday. I had brother Ermias asked me, said, Father, and I used to like to hear him talk. He said, Father, can I spend a day with you? I said, yes, sir. So we finally got around. I set the day. I told him, okay, well, Wednesday be good enough for you? Yes, sir. 9 o'clock in the morning, he came with me. He stayed with me all day. I think he got to say maybe about 25 words to me. Every time he get ready to say something, Father, the phone rang. When we finally come off, he said, Father, does this happen every day? I said, pretty much so. But I could say, well, look, hey, don't call me. Or don't answer the phone. Don't carry no phone with me. However, I know the urgency of answering what the man wants to know, this black man. Because if you don't know it, you cannot do what you don't know. If you know it, you ask the question, you get the answer, you just test it, you say, oh, this works. Then you're held responsible. And we can see things working. And when it gets to a point where I've got things working where everybody sees it's working, one day soon you can see me on live TV, prime time. And they're going to be questioning me. I'm going to be, I can't wait. Because I'm going to lay back and answer. And then you're all going to say, the ones that have been getting all these tapes and never show up, then you're going to jump up, oh, that's my man. I've been knowing about him for a long time. You're going to come with that then. Because now, white folks are saying, just by having me on it, they're saying, this is the man. And they're going to say it anyhow, because I'm going to make them. I'm going to be sitting right in front of their face and asking them, who's the man? You see the movie, what's the name of that movie, where the brother played in and was asking her, who's the, I can't even think of it. What was it? It was a karate. Was it last? What? No. This was it. What was it? Yeah, showing up. Last Dragon. You all seen that? And got to the end where he caught the bullet with his teeth and all that kind of stuff, and the man was beating him up before. And then he come up and say, and then when he kind of shook him ass and who's the master? My man had to say, you. That's, in essence, that's what's going to happen. And I'm not going to do it out of spite or nothing like that. I'm just going to do it because I like to play. My play is righteous. I like to have fun. Because I don't walk around, all worried and all uptight and everything. I'm extremely humorous. I really am. I'm a humorist to me. I'm by myself sometimes. I'll be laughing. I'll be talking to myself. That was pretty good. Pretty good. So when I get with them, they're going to have to do what I do. I say, now, who's the man? They might laugh. well, who's the man? You are. Okay, then. It's going to happen, believe me. It's going to happen. And they're not going to feel bad saying it because I'm not pressuring them in a way that they know pressure to be. You see, I'll allow them to say it and still keep their dignity. It's not going to be done in a degrading way, but it's going to be done. Yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you for being extremely touchable and approachable and humorous.
Yes, ma'am.
It makes it very easy to speak with you. I have a question as far as the statement that's made as far as two gods not being able to rule in the same place. I look around and I see the gods, more than two, even in this room. So, because I'm working on definitely being and staying the goddess, how far does each god have a span of universe that he will have? How far can he go? Or are there many other universes?
Oh, yes, ma'am. They're counting mine when mine has just started, it would be 4. However, when they say two gods, these are gods. When every one of them is in accord with each other, we're talking about one God. It's not each one is separately God and they can't rule in the same. Their rule is the same as the brother sitting next to them, so it's like they're counted as one. They're Siamese twins.
Yes, sir.
Now, what we're talking about is the man that is not our twin, that's 180 degrees opposite from us. He's a God, and we are God.
Yes, sir.
And we cannot be in the same place at the same time and rule.
Yes, sir.
So one has to take the rule from the other, or the other has to leave. So the one that is most powerful had to leave to allow this other one to rule. And he told him, look, 6 days, 6,000 years, I'll allow you to rule. At that time, I shall return, and I will take back the rule. This is what he says. I will take back the rule. He didn't say, and you are to give me back the rule. Because he wasn't going to give it back to him. He said, I will take back the rule, and I'm going to put you to rest. Man, I'm going to kill you. Because you haven't created nothing. You can't leave and go no place, and you won't stay by the law that you came into. Now the lawmaker has come to make sure the law is enforced. So the only thing that can happen to you, you got to perish. Now how do you want to go? Quick, slow, fast, rapid, painful, unpainful? However you come up with, the key word is go.
Yes.
You see? So that's what that means.
Yes.
For all of them, look what happened. This man is a master of division. He divides and conquers himself. The planes come in and hit the towers. Bling. Everywhere you go, you see Old Glory. America, they got it on the stands right alongside the road. America stands together. God bless America. Now all of them together. For that Godship. You got a few that's standing up, a few. We don't want war, so they're going to march on Washington and whatnot. However, it's so few that they're still sticking to their nature. Somebody still got to come up and don't be in agreement. But it's not enough of them to stop it.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's the two different gods we talk about.
Thank you, Father.
Yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. You all got that?
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
I have one question. After adhering to the dietary laws and trying to get self right, my household, we listen to you before we go to bed and when we wake up. I've noticed things out the corner of my eye sometimes. I don't know what it is. This is a question. However, certain times it's a feeling of dread in the house for about 20 minutes or so.
Dread?
It's something like this. It's very uncomfortable.
Yes, sir.
But that only comes up maybe once every 2 months or something like that. But generally, we're seeing things unusual floating around in the house. You see them out the corner of your eyes. And I'm saying, after you're trying to get right, do the right thing, What is this?
Well, that's one of the main things, main reasons why they are making themselves seen. Uh, they are devilish entities or demonic forces. And you know, Satan was here, put it this way, negative was here before positive was. But they couldn't prove it was. But since we brought in positive, we now know that negative was already here. That's why we have never created a perfect being. Because the material that we use, the negative in it, would not allow us to make it perfect. Now, when you make your mind up that you're going to do right, it starts to show you or try to discourage you from doing it. If they can frighten you, cause you to go into a deep wonder, make you think something that's very mysterious taking place, anything to get your mind off of right, that's what they'll do. However, if you notice, not one of them has ever hurt you. Now, if you get scared and jump up and run out of the room, stump your toe and break it, you did it. But they don't have no power over you. They're trying to convince you, in the best way that they think or that you will allow them to do, not to become pure. If you do, it means the end of them.
Thank you, Father.
You see what I'm saying? And just to let you know what I'm saying is true, since there is Satan and there is a devil, that's a reality. Everything that is a reality as far as it being, we as God, me as being the supreme being, has got to recognize it. So what we do as far as recognizing it, one day out of every year, Halloween. Halloween is a time where we just watch them. We don't put them in check. We don't do nothing. We just watch them. Because they do exist. After we recognize them for one day, that's it. We back at war again. You understand what I'm saying? So what you see, as long as they're running, let them run. Just don't let them run you. And after a while, you get to a point, they'll leave. You won't see it no more. You won't feel that presence around you or in the house. You know. And then there's some things you can do in the house to make them also lessen their appearance. You know, certain foods and certain herbs you lay around. You know, you can set up traps for them like you do for the roaches. You catch them too. One day I'll show you how to do that. And you all understand? You know, once the good thing about this, I'll say it's good, not perfect, but it's good. Once you learn how to use math, and once you have the confidence in yourself that math really works, the best play man or play toy you can have is Satan. Because he will never leave you. You play with him when you want to play. When he wants to play, you don't want to, you don't have to play. But every time you want to play, he got to play with you. Meaning, you and him do things together that amuses you. Not that you're hurting somebody else. That amuses you. You see? And when you finish playing that, leave it alone. He can't make you do anything else. Like it's written, God don't play. For real, he don't. When he's playing with Satan, you don't see it. So it's like he ain't playing. I hope you understand what I'm saying. He's a good playmate, especially when you know you can beat him. You know, it's like playing chess. You know, you got to think. Because since he was here before you, he can think. Because he done watched you for trillions of years. And when you start dealing with him, whatnot, you know, personally, just dealing with him, you have all kind of fun. He'll sharpen you too. He'll make you real sharp. Like you say, brother sharpens brother. If you know how to play with Satan, he'll sharpen you. Think I'm joking, don't you? Play ignorant to the law and do something crazy. They'll carry you downtown, put you in jail, and the devil will sharpen you. You'll know not to do that no more. You understand what I'm saying? So once you step up into the high echelon and to the spirit world and to the essence of things, he's there. So you play with him in the spirit and never let him get out of that, so it never materializes. If you play with him in the spiritual, it can't have no weight to it unless you can bring it into the physical. So if you're playing up here and never make it materialize, it's like you ain't played. I don't know if y'all know what I'm saying or not. Don't go try to play with him yet, though. It takes a little, don't do that yet, unless you really got some knowledge. Yes, sir.
So could you give me some clarity on Genesis when he said God made man, both male and female? Then it went on to say he made man from the dust of earth. He made man in the image of himself, both male and female. Then it went on to say that he made one from the dust of earth, and he placed him in another garden.
I can hardly hear you. You've got an echo in here.
Yeah.
Do you all hear me when I'm speaking? Plainly? Are you asking me what does it mean when God said, let us make man, and he made the man from the dust of the earth and didn't use a woman?
No, he was saying he made man in his image, in his likeness, both male and female. And then it went on to say that he made one from the dust of earth, from the dust of the earth. And he supposed had placed him in another part, in a garden that was east of Eden, something like that in Genesis, when it first started off.
Oh, yes, sir. This is speaking about the Caucasian he made. And also, it's still the Caucasian. But the level of intelligence that they operate on is more divine, even in the wickedness. And he placed him in this place called Israel. And today they over there still fighting. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
In other words, isn't it ironic that all the Muslim countries, most all of Africa, here you got one little teeny strip of land with some white folks on it that's ruling all these other countries. You see? It's almost like saying the white man's white man. The Jews operate like God operates. It's not that he made a different man. He just made one of them wiser than what he calls the Gentiles. The Gentiles is like made from the dust of the earth, not from the dust. Their thinking and what they produce can be discarded like dust. It has no value to it. It has no weight to it. It's easy to move. Just like the terrorist said, the United States, America, it's easy to terrorize them. They're so open. But you look at it, man, they'll kiss if you do something like that. But look what happened. They think they know who to get, but they can't find it. Check it out now.
Yes, sir.
Check it out. It's a big, bad country. Bad, greatest nation on the planet. Man come over and kill thousands. But then they don't know who to go get. And they said, well, we can't track bin Laden. He don't carry no phone. He don't carry no gun. He don't carry nothing of this world. So we can't track him. We don't know where he is. You see? So you got the dust, and you got the man that's ruling the dust, and us.
At one time you had shared that they would fight another war, and you said that the ones that they would lose, and it would be someone that would come over here, come to this country.
Yes, sir. That is going to happen. This country is already stepped into it. Before the end of it, it's going to lose so badly that the country that won will say to themselves, well, hey, we took it that easy, let's go down and take their land. You know, they took everybody else, let's go take theirs. So they're coming over here. And if you ain't with me, woe unto you. If you're not with me, you can say, well, I'm with Louis Farrakhan. Okay. I'm with Warwick Dean, the Sunnah, the Quran, and the Prophet. I'm with them. Woe unto you. I'm just my own man. Okay. I'm an independent black woman. Okay. It's going to be just like it's written. Blood going to be flowing down the street as high as the horse's bridle from the ignorance of us. Believe it. We're going to see it. We ain't going to lift a finger to stop it. Then they're going to come up on our settlement. Oh, some more niggers. You know, nigger means God. Nigger means God. They can find it, that's the wrong God. They're going to see that this planet was absolutely designed specifically to serve the God of the universe. This is the Supreme Being's home. This planet, not just North America, this planet is a physical home of the Supreme Being. This is why we're the only ones that had the right to invite Satan into his fullness or make him into a fullness and then do away with it. Because we are the Allah, so we can invite who we want to our house and judge him and then execute judgment. Any other planet don't have the right to do that because they got to answer to us. We answer to no one. Like it reads about me, Solomon, in the Quran, he answers to nothing or no one. Everything answers to him. Now, if that ain't saying he's God, it's written right down in the Quran. So if that answers the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. It seems to be what is being said is so much of a contrast to what you're actually living. It's just hard to believe that. I mean, it sounds good. I'm getting tired sitting on them hard chairs, but it sounds good. But when I go home, I mean, how can I explain this to my wife that didn't come? How can I tell my buddies on the corner that didn't come? I can't tell them because they're not going to believe it. They're going to think I'm crazy if I say something. You stick with me. We're going to show them what crazy is. Is that it? Everybody's question has been satisfied? Well, if so, I appreciate being invited here. I think they're supposed to be having some dinners. I may stay and eat with you. Yeah. Before you all leave, I don't know how many if everybody's going to stay, fine. If not, you all, once before you leave, go peruse the table. We have a doctor, and we have some of the things that she uses for our well-being and health. We have many other products that's to serve us, and you can get a bird's eye view as to what's taking place. And all of that you see is being and has to be magnified. For surely, Allah, they are praised and magnified in your midst, or in thy midst. So whatever I'm doing, I got to magnify it, especially if you coming. If you ain't coming, I just do it with one bowl of beans. But if you coming, I got to get 2 bowls. Got to magnify it. And you know one thing? You're going to be coming. Sister Secretary, whoever is supposed to come up. And if whatever you give towards this, it's like you storing your wealth up in heaven. So when you get there, it's already accounted for. Right? Assalamu alaikum.